Top 10 Most Ruthless Political Coups in History. In politics, power is rarely handed over peacefully. Throughout history, some men didn't wait for elections. They took what they wanted with blood, bullets, and betrayal. These are not just coups, they are warnings. When leadership becomes lust, and power becomes a god, humanity suffers. This list is not to glorify brutality but to expose it and to stir you never to sit idle while evil ascends to the throne. Let's count down the top 10 most ruthless coups in world history where ambition turned men into monsters. Number 10. The 2009 Honduras coup, democracy hijacked overnight. In the middle of the night, soldiers stormed the president's residence, dragged Manuel Zelaya out in his pajamas, and flew him into exile. Why? Because he dared propose reforms. Just like that, elected power was overthrown by military might. Lesson: it takes decades to build a nation. But it only takes one bold bullet to tear it all down. Number 9. Thailand's 2006 military coup, silenced through force. In full military gear, tanks rolled through Bangkok. Elected Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra was removed while away at a UN meeting. The military took over, shut down media, and wrote a new constitution. Lesson: when people stop speaking, soldiers start marching. Silence is never peace, it's a setup. Number 8. Egypt's 2013 coup, from revolution to regression. After the Arab Spring brought hope, Egypt voted in Mohamed Morsi. But just 1 year later, the military ousted him, cracked down on protests, and thousands were killed. Democracy was buried under boots and tear gas. Lesson: a revolution that forgets to protect itself will be devoured by the very forces it overthrew. Number 7. The 1973 Chilean coup, the fall of Salvador Allende. Backed by the CIA, General Augusto Pinochet bombed the presidential palace. Allende died with a rifle in hand. In came a dictatorship that tortured and disappeared thousands. Hope was killed with steel and fire. Lesson: foreign hands often manipulate weak nations. Protect your soil, or it will be sold from under your feet. Number 6. Iran's 1953 coup, democracy derailed by greed. Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh was overthrown in a coup backed by British and American interests. Why? Because he nationalized oil. A puppet Shah was installed. Iran never fully recovered. Lesson: oil, gold, and greed will always be stronger than your anthem if you don't guard your sovereignty with wisdom. Number 5. The 1987 Burkina Faso coup, the betrayal of Thomas Sankara. Sankara, the African revolutionary hero, was murdered in cold blood by his best friend Blaise Compaoré, the same man who dined with him the night before. One man betrayed the dream of an entire continent. Lesson: not every friend is loyal. And not every soldier in your camp fights for your cause. Number 4. Nigeria's 1966 coups, the chaos that triggered a civil war. What began as a military takeover soon became ethnic retaliation, mass executions, and eventually the Biafra War, a dark chapter where over 2 million people died. All because ambition met tribalism at gunpoint. Lesson: leadership without unity is a loaded weapon. And ambition without vision is national suicide. Number 3. The 2012 Mali coup, terror opened the door. As rebels took over the north, the army staged a coup to save the country. Instead, it led to total collapse. Terrorists flooded in. Extremism grew. Innocent lives were lost. The cure was worse than the disease. Lesson: never trust a man who causes a storm just to sell himself as the savior. Number 2. The 1980 Liberia coup, blood, betrayal, and brutality. Master Sergeant Samuel Doe killed President Tolbert in a violent coup. Ministers were tied to poles and executed on national TV. Liberia would never know peace again for over 2 decades. The blood of the innocent still cries out. Lesson: when leaders rise through violence, they rule with vengeance. Peace never grows in the soil of blood. Number 1. The 1969 Libya coup, Gaddafi's rise to ruthless power. At 27, Muammar Gaddafi led a bloodless coup that quickly turned into 42 years of iron-fisted rule, oppression, torture, and international terror. He started as a reformer and ended as a ruthless tyrant who crushed anyone who stood in his path. His end was just as brutal as his reign. Lesson: power gained without principle becomes poison. The longer it is held without accountability, the more monstrous it becomes. These coups weren't just political. They were moral failures. They happened because men cared more about position than purpose, more about control than compassion. But you, yes, you, are the future leader of something. Your home. Your business. Your generation. Your church. Your country. So ask yourself, will you rule by fear or by faith? Will you rise through service or by stepping on others? Will you fight for truth, or fall for power? The world doesn't need another tyrant in a suit. It needs men and women with character, courage, and conscience. Don't just study history. Make it the right way. If you love this video, like, follow and subscribe this channel page for more amazing contents like this.